Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental, and emotional health paradigm. We try to do that as often as we can. Try to do that multiple times per week. And no, wrong channel. In reality, this is the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel, and this is the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling Review channel, and or the review series, and so this is obviously Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling. This is the 24th of April, 1972. I'm up through June, so some more stuff should be going up tonight. Wahoo McDaniel and Morocco will face off against Carl Fergie and Bill White. McDaniel and Morocco are having success in the tag team tournament, I believe the Western Division. They talk about being friends in a promo before the match. Wahoo endorsing Morocco is a major thing here in 1982, Mid-Atlantic. I don't know that Morocco's ever been through the area before. Don't know my, pre 70s history there, but it's interesting in a perspective there also. And that before we get to that specific match, though, we do see Terry Taylor facing off in tag team action here with none other than the team Taylor versus Don Kernoodle in a run go there tag match as Tim Horner is providing the tag team partnership for Taylor in this one against Kernoodle and Davis. So that's it's kind of interesting. Kernoodle and Nelson against Taylor and Horner. Actually, I was looking at the wrong week. The next week it starts with Wahoo and Morocco. So anyway, so I mean, the team of Horner and Taylor, which seems to actually run through the wonder that is, the UWF as well. But Taylor still, in his first couple of years here, good wrestling technique, arm bars, basic stuff, good babyface tags. Horner comes in, tries to go at it with his opponent, and drops the elbow, the double axe handle, and other basic stuff there. Back elbows again by the tandem, and we get a body slam by Taylor. Taylor pretty aggressive and has had issues even coming up to this point with the privates of Sergeant Slaughter for a good bit. The privates have been Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions once already. I do believe they regain the belts here in the next several weeks, so that's also here as well. Horner comes in and hits a monkey flip. Monkey flip, a move we don't see much here in 2021, but it does exist upon occasion, and it's there for those that want to utilize it, I suppose. Anyway, continuation, and Horner takes over on the team, and Kernoodle and friends kind of come up and cut Horner off. Atomic drop, still a move of major note, actually a finish for Bob Backlund over in the WWF at the time. But Horner comes out the back door after the atomic drop and continues his battle into things. Tries to cut him off, doesn't get all he wants on the cutoff, but manages to do a pretty good run there. Taylor manages to hit a couple of shots along the way, and deep back body drop along the way by Taylor as well. Taylor just really aggressive and assertive, trying to get everything going in the direction he wants. Tag off, and again, there we go. Terry Taylor in control. Drop kick under the chin, and is pretty solid, as it were. So that's what's there as far as that's concerned. And the team of Taylor and Horner get a victory in the last minute here. Then we move to the next in the series of matches. well, actually, they don't get the victory right off at that particular point, but they actually do get a victory in the next couple of minutes. Then we move to a, I guess you'd say, a basic match. The return of Paul Jones, Mr. One, number one, Paul Jones against Jim Dalton. Jim Dalton here for a good bit of time over the next several months. Don't know if he's been here before. Again, my earlier than 81 history of Mid-Atlantic not exactly great. Paul Jones has been here before, though, that much we do know. He cinches up on the leg holds, tries to get a kind of a leg crimp, and stays on the hold for several minutes. Lots of people would consider it boring. I consider it wonderful, just because you really do wonder about the tenacity and the sticking power of Jim Dalton, just because he stays in the hold for a couple of minutes here. And at the time, not having an MMA background or knowledge of MMA, a guy staying in a hold for 2 or 3 minutes looks tougher than average. So that's there, and Dalton also gets a hookup on the leg of Paul Jones for a little bit. Jones coming back after a little while away, maybe a couple months away, and doesn't take a good deal of backward steps. The figure four and a victory for Paul Jones with the victory there. Ken Timms comes out, and he is tagging with his tag team partner, at least temporarily, in the benefit of Patterson, Dave Patterson, who we've seen before. Patterson and Timms against Wahoo and Morocco is the final match of the day, at least final complete match of the day. Confrontation, which is worth seeing. A bad sports coat, Roddy Piper. Confrontation between Jack Briscoe and Piper. Piper basically says that Briscoe, in his mind, is afraid of or ashamed of being a Native American. Really tries to back down. There is highlights of a squash match of Tommy Rich. Rich doesn't seem to come in and do a lot of TV at the time, so I don't really quite understand the reliance on Tommy Rich. I don't even know that we've seen him do a full TV match, at least on this Mid-Atlantic program. Maybe he does on Worldwide or something, but Tommy Rich, talked about a lot over the last several months, has not come in for full matches that I can recall. So just a really odd run there. Rich manages to hit a couple of shots, manages to then kind of go around a little bit and get a couple of attempted body slams and other basic maneuvers. Rich also does hook up an abdominal stretch, even driving the elbow of the abdominal stretch into the side of his opponent here, and gets a victory with the abdominal stretch. Weird to see a submission victory for a guy like Tommy Rich, who, of course, former NWA World Champion. Then we see some talk about Roddy Piper saying he's going to run everybody off. Sergeant Slaughter still your United States champion, although that will change in the weeks and months to come, so stay with us for that. Slaughter talks about wanting greater competition, wanting to get rid of a guy like Wahoo McDaniel, and that ends up being almost prophetic, the need to get rid of him, as it is Wahoo that takes the belt off of Slaughter in the upcoming weeks and months. Spoiler, all these almost 40 years later. Tony Anthony against Sergeant Slaughter is your next deal here. Anthony, of course, Smoky Mountain Wrestling major star at the time, and Anthony gets pulled up by Slaughter. Slaughter takes him down after holding onto the armbar, tries to get submissions out of him. Anthony takes a bunch of punishment, doing what a good enhancement guy will do, making a guy like Sergeant Slaughter look like $1 million while not taking backward steps virtually anywhere. Slaughter is willing to get a couple of shots in here and there, and then goes right back, cinches up on the arm. Basic maneuvers, nothing worth writing home about, but still intentional and integral to the process, kind of getting things going there. Slaughter gets the victory and hooks up the Cobra Clutch, getting a victory in the long run there, and ultimately, is managed there. Terry Taylor talks about wanting more of the team of Kernodle and Nelson, and he's tired of all that. Also, they begin to talk about. I think it actually begins the next week or the following week, but within the next 2 weeks for 30 days, no DQs, no countouts. So allowing more of a little Wild West feel here in Mid Atlantic, kind of bringing about kind of a pre ECW sort of feeling. Anyway, we go to the final match of the day, which is the Wahoo McDaniels and um, Morocco match against Patterson and Tibbs. Wahoo and Morocco have supposedly formed a friendship. Not really knowledgeable about that, but Wahoo obviously big on the chops, big on the strikes. Tibbs comes in and goes at it with Morocco. Morocco takes a single leg pick and kind of works on rolling over, stretching out the hamstrings, trying to get a more submission-based deal there. Morocco and Wahoo in a position to be the tag team champions if things had allowed, but the U.S. title change for Wahoo actually limits that and leads to Morocco's heel turn. We'll talk about that in the weeks and months to come. Wahoo being back in the area pretty aggressively cuts a half crab and attempted figure for Ken Tibbs. Super small at the time, but manages to look like $1,000,000. Morocco with a rare drop kick here in 1982, which is rare because I don't know, seeing Morocco leave his feet always surprises me. Swinging neck breaker. I did not know that this is where Morocco was prior to his 1983 run, and so then you kind of see snaps him over, gets what he can, and Morocco hits the tombstone and gets the victory for his team. Jake Roberts and Paul Jones talks about wanting to get rid of various people like Piper and Slaughter and all of that. Jake still wanting mainly to go at Slaughter and Piper as well. Jake doing the straw hat thing. Don't quite understand the straw hat, but it's Jake Roberts in 1982, so who knows. But we'll be back with more right after this.